Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to SMA Live. We're back. We've had a long time of doing, everything. It's been a long summer. We're into the fall. We're into season 3 of SMA Live. I appreciate you guys joining us. This is SMA Live in the morning because we're on the right side of 12 o'clock. And I am very happy to bring in my guest for today. This young man, I've known him since I think he was 6. He came up and vigorously shook my hand. How you doing, Mr. Woods? It is the kid himself, Kameren Dawson. Good morning, Kameren. How are you doing?
Mal, how you feeling, baby?
I am doing fantastic. If I was any better, I would be you, sir.
If I had one of your hands, I cut both of mine off.
Thank you. Sir. I'm so glad you you took the time to help us out, and just being being our guest this morning. It's been a little while since I've seen you, but I know you've been busy. You just won last week in Dixieland, or a couple weeks ago in Dixieland.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I know you're getting ready for the upcoming event for next weekend, and that is the Diamond Nationals.
National.
Tell me about how you've been working towards getting yourself a diamond ring.
Well, Mal, you come from our camp, so you know how things go. Just been trying to balance everything between the gym and the sport karate training, and I still work on my traditional martial arts also. So I have basically three components to my training. I still work my forms. I still go to the gym. I still do drills as far as the blitzing and stuff like that is concerned. But I feel as though it has to be a balance, or you get too far favoring one side. So well roundedness is all I focus on.
I think that's a very true statement. By the way, big ups to Michael Simmons, who says to tell Cam hi. He is watching. That's a guy who's always working. I know he's been down there with you and your father a bunch. Uh,
Rounded dude.
Speaking of that, Team Dojo Elite, you guys really, jumped on the scene. You've made a lot of noise. Give me your thoughts about. I know you made a switch from John Paul Mitchell, but you went to Team Dojo Elite. It's a smaller group. Got a lot of young guns on there. Got you, Michael Simmons, your father. There's Josh, who's sponsoring and still jumps out there. Zach. Let me see. I'm getting the rest of Team Light Skin.
Yeah. Devin.
Devin, I could not remember Devin's name. Devin, I'm sorry, man.
Still got Dev. We still got Kitana. We still got Jim. We have one of the co-owners, Tomas. We still got my dad. I mean, we still pretty deep. So you really can't sleep on anybody. We good.
That is absolutely true. You got seniors that's fighting the regular division. You got young guys, young and hungry guys out there. One of the things I did notice is, so I had a chance to meet Devin, really, sit down and talk to him about a year and a half ago. But since he's joined TDE, really like a change has kind of seemed to have set in on him. He is more hungry now. The same thing with Zach. I mean, I've always seen your fire from training with you. And if you guys have never had a chance to train with this young man here, it's an excellent training session. Like you said, we could come there. I could say, Cam, I came up, and we're not going to spar. Let's do some forms. And you would come out and like, oh, what form you want? We're going to bust on traditional. What are we going to do? You're really a true martial artist. And that's one thing I love about you is that you also have a great knowledge of the sport itself, the history of the sport, and the martial arts in general. But, taking it back to TDE, Devin, these guys are more hungry. Do you feel like it's because you're a smaller, tighter-knit group and it just makes you more focused to go out there and beat some of the, well-known, more, larger teams?
I mean, I just think is people want something that they haven't had.
Mm-hmm.
Go around a group of guys, who, let's say me, Zolt, Justin, and Tomas, and we go a year and a half and not lose. If you don't have a certain kind of mindset to maintain that, people do start slacking off a teeny bit. But when I was a part of that elite group, winning was so constant, so constant. Like, damn near guaranteed. And when that went to the side, and I was blessed enough to be on TDE, I could just see it in Devin and Zach's faces. And then when Kitana came, they had never really tasted that victory feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you they want it bad. You know what I mean? So, and they definitely putting in the work. Now it's just that whole experience thing. And, I still have many, many, many ways to grow also. So as we come up on the journey together, I really, really enjoy the process because once it comes together, then, it's going to be a really good feeling.
I think that's an excellent point. One of the things that I think a lot of people, they're so hey, I just got to get on a team, and just getting on a team seems to be the goal, but that's just not even step zero. Getting on whatever you're wearing on your back is one thing, but like you said, enjoying the process, to know and to learn and to grow, and knowing that, hey, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna hang five on this one guy. I know that the next man standing behind me is not going to give up those five. He's going to at least add to that lead, and the man that's coming after them is going to go ahead and defend that lead and
And this
ensure you the victory. I think
and,
that's the great thing about that.
and it's another thing of understanding that none of us need anything on our backs to kick and punch. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't need any specific uniform. I don't need any specific color. Devin doesn't, Zach don't, Coach J don't, my pops don't, Mike don't, Key doesn't. Our talent is there. But when we choose to be a team and choose to be together, and you don't have a coach just saying, all right, you're going to be with him or you're going to be with her, and we are actually making these choices and we come together, that means we want to be there. Just like any kind of relationship, you can't force someone to be there, or it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to work. But the fact that we all like agree on who's there, who's a part of the team, man, everybody's work ethic is through the roof, through the roof.
That is, I think those are excellent points. And mentioning that, and going ahead and talking about goals, we have the Diamond Nationals upcoming. That's next weekend, October 5th and 6th in Bloomington, Minnesota. You've told me you're going. Is the whole TDE squad headed up there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be full force. We'll be in there.
Now, the one great thing about the Diamonds is that it's kind of the unofficial, high point of the NASCAR career. I mean, obviously we have Pan Am that's coming after that, and and even in other years there were other tournaments that came after the Diamonds, but it's always looked at as that high point to get that prestige. Let me just go down the list a little bit real quick. I'm just going to go. I'm going to start at 1989 and mention men sparring diamond ring winners. I'm going to talk about a couple of these names on this list really quick. 1989, Hakeem Austin. 1990, Sean Adams. 1991, Ibby Abdallah, one guy from our region. 1992, a guy you may have heard of, Richard Plowden. 93, Ronald Brady. 94, Anthony Price. 95, Tony Young. I saw that. That was incredible because back then you didn't separate lightweights and heavyweight, and Tony Young being one of the very few super lightweights to win this. 1996, Mike Pombiero. 1997, Pedro Xavier. 98, Johnny Tension. 99, Reggie Perry. And then there's Raymond Daniels, Jason, Trevor, Jason, Trevor, Raymond, Alex, Raymond, Ross, Kodak, Zolt. I mean, just that list alone is just, the who's who. Let me just see. I'm just going to pick a name out. We're going to go a little old school. I'm going to pick out Anthony Price. What does it mean to you when you go back and you look on that list and you see Anthony Price on there for the type of competitor that he was, now the coach of Team K-Talk?
Yeah, that's a killer. I hope you drop your hands if you want to. I mean, that's a legit name. I mean, and inside the ring, outside the ring, I feel like he could defend himself the same exact way. And I mean, like that's a really, really, true martial artist there. So, Quanjian Price is, he's legit, man.
That's
And,
absolutely true.
and always been. And I do believe that if he really wanted to put the energy into it, he can still fight his division and do great now.
Oh,
He has
I have no doubt about that.
he ain't fooling nobody. He still got it.
There's a nice little tip in coming from someone you may know, Paulette Dawson. I'm your biggest fan, Team Kameren Dawson all day. That's my heartbeat. There you go.
So,
Little love coming in. Little love coming in over Facebook. Let me mention. How about Pedro Xavier? What goes to your mind? You hear about that? A fantastic competitor from Boston Taekwondo.
yeah, man. And he held down Taekwondo for a long time. It's definitely something that you don't see now. People so scared to make mistakes that they're not fighting to their full potential. But I've seen tapes of Pedro kind of just take deep breaths and just get loose. The only person I've seen fight with that kind of excitement like that, as far as my group is concerned, is Justin Ortiz. He's the only one that's
Mm.
that feeling like I'm just gonna go out here and strictly just have fun and just and just get loose. You know what I mean? Like man, Pedro is an awesome martial artist
It's
and super duper approachable. You know,
Oh, no doubt that he's very humble, very content, quiet guy, but so nice. From facing him on the other side of the line. I'm telling you, man, when you get up there on that line and you got
I
PX
got
on
that
the other
right
end,
now.
and he does the splits, and it's like, oh man, okay, all right, it's every point's gonna count, man. And it was hard, but you know what? In the end, uh, Pedro would come up to you after the fight and be like, hey man, you did great, and I've been watching you, etc., etc. Never any ego, always quiet and humble. And if you look at him, the guy is still in fantastic shape today. It looks like another guy that could just jump right in and set back up
And
again.
more importantly, he's a better businessman.
That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Let me kick it over here to the lady side of the things. We definitely gotta show love to the women. Just go. Let's see. We got Nikki Carlson, Christine Banner, Don Rafi, Nikki, Dottie, Nikki. I think Nikki's name has been mentioned a couple times.
Right, right.
Did you ever get a chance to see any tapes of Nikki Carlson Lee?
Yeah, I have, everything under the sun as far as tapes are concerned. I have a lot of your fights with Pedro. I got to get them, posted. I got your elite fights. I got when you was wearing the school uniform.
Ooh,
I got. Oh, when you was wearing the navy blue one.
that's right.
Yeah, man, I got all those things as far as tapes are concerned. I just got to get them out and share them. I mean, because it's funny that we talking about tapes. I don't know how many times I have asked the generation under me, like, do you know who Anthony Holloway is? They be like, who?
I'm like, huh? Who?
I'm like, you know who Johnny Guante is? Like, who? And I be like, Chris Styles. They be like, what? Oh, all right. So I gotta kind of maybe start like a Facebook page or somewhere to put that stuff, just so it's really just not I guess dying per se, because there is a lot of things that you can take from those guys' styles and how much heart that they fought with, and the fact that they were actually fighting and actually hitting people. You know,
Hmm.
it's something that could really help the next group coming up.
I certainly agree. I mean, I can remember being in your dad's school, and I think I was a green belt. I went up to New York, and I remember seeing everybody from Metro come in, and they're just stretching out, and then the Philadelphia National Karate Team, and
That's
then
exciting.
Boston Taekwondo, all these old legendary names, and you do your research, you find out that there are roots there. Justin was in the Boston area. I fought Justin's dad many times, and that comes in the Boston Taekwondo era. And then the guys that have moved away and set up camp. The twins are now in Minnesota,
Hmm.
but they have roots in Boston Taekwondo. All this, know your lineage, know your history. I think is the absolute important case to bring there. I, like I said, we're headed towards the Diamond Nationals. I mean, let me just promo a little bit more. Again, October 5th and 6th. It's listed as Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's in, if I remember, Bloomingdale, Minnesota. Definitely book your hotel if you haven't done so already. It is a fantastic event. And what are your thoughts going in for you personally? We're going to take it past your team because your team's going to do good, and you depend on two other guys. But you yourself, what does it mean to go there and to win that ring and add your name to those list of champions? What does that mean to you?
Being amongst the greats is what we all dream for. I mean, if you really have a passion for this thing, if you just going to just take up space, then that's just on you. But anytime I go to a tournament, it's more so a big build up for me. I
Hmm.
don't just train aimlessly. I train based on a camp. So the way that Floyd does like a 24/7, or Connor does like a 24/7, and they give themselves those specific weeks out. I have those weeks up into the tournament, so I'm not peaking too soon or anything like that. So I'm kind of in that resting, just kind of trimming everything down. So by the time I get there, I'll feel great and be ready to fight. I don't feel as though it's not any situation that someone can put me in that I really can't handle. So I don't look at it as what I'm going to do physically. I just master situations.
That is a fantastic bit of advice coming from a young man like yourself. I mean, one of the things that people don't understand is peaking too early. It's great to be in the dojo in the gym and you're smashing through people, but all of a sudden, if you peak the week before the event and your body's coming down, what good does that do you? Know your body, listen to your body, rest, eat properly, stretch, which
and
I am
and
guilty of
and,
not
and
stretching.
understand, that your body really does enjoy your schedule. So I have no hate for anybody doing things 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's awesome, but it's nothing that you can do at 5 o'clock in the morning that I can't do at noon, or I can't do at 10, because that's more realistic to have my body ready to fight at that time.
That's
So
true.
so that's why you have people talking about, Friday night, Saturday night. Man, I can't sleep. Well, you train at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. Your body's on go mode. It's just it just has to be it has to be more planned out. It has to be more thought out. So I will do really late workouts, 11, 12, and then I'll do afternoon, 10, 9ish, and I'll kind of keep it around the times that I think that I would be fighting. Uh,
Hmm.
I will hit the gym early. I don't mind doing that part, but I do try to keep my training around the times that I will be fighting.
If you
It
had
just
to,
seems more practical to me.
if you could give 3 tips, let's say you got someone that's up and coming young black belt like yourself, what 3 tips would you give them to help improve their performance?
Don't leave your base.
Hmm.
Whatever you were originally taught, it's okay to add on to it, but don't throw it away because of someone else's influence. You don't ever have to get rid of what you were taught completely. You just have to find different ways to make it work in the sport that you want to do. Um, Another tip. Oh, when you're training, I would say don't train based on your ego. You got to be honest with yourself. I think that some of us go back and try to force, certain techniques, and you're trying to, force things that are not working for you, and you're not making the adjustments. Just like any great team, when you go back to your film study, if you don't make those adjustments, you're still going to be in the same position. And the last thing I would say is, I would say that when people are training, learn how to be still before you're training. Go through your visualizations of what you want to see yourself doing, so when you get to the tournament, that you have a strong mind. And we always say strong mind equals a strong body.
I think those are all fantastic tips and everything. Well, Cam, I certainly appreciate your time this morning. I'm looking forward to seeing you about this time next week
Yes, sir.
as we prepare for the Diamond Nationals. Just a quick reminder to everybody else, the Diamond Nationals will be broadcast live streamed on Facebook and on YouTube. Please check in the SMA for all the events. We're going to have team fighting, we'll have ladies team fighting, and of course, we'll have the run up to the Diamond and the Diamond National show. And of course, coming after that in Dublin, Ireland, October 27th through November 2nd, the WKC World Championships.
It's gonna be
That's going to be
crazy.
amazing. I mean, there's nothing like you've ever
Crazy.
seen. You got to experience that. And then, of course, we're going to round up the end of the year with the Pan American Nationals. That's November 9th and 10th. Sunny Miami, Florida. What more can you say? Definitely going to have Alex Reyes on and also Manny Reyes himself on an SMA live show soon, telling us how great that tournament is. Cam, get your rest, eat well. I can't wait to watch you. You never know. You might see a surprise. Old man might throw his uniform out there, self, and jump out there. Not with you young good guys. I like my health. I'm just saying. But you never know what might happen at the Diamonds. I always say that.
All right, man. Appreciate you as always, Mel.
Thank you. Kameren Dawson, everybody. We'll see you very soon.